Hi, I'm Caitlin M. Elo, certified numerologist of Light Bright Numerology, and this week I'm coming to you with my list of favorite girls' names that resonate at the 2 growth energy. Now, the growth number is just one small aspect of a numerology chart, but it is the only aspect that endows us with only the gifts of an energy and none of the negatives, or what I prefer to say would be the flip side of an energy. Now, the 2 is all about relationships and partnerships. It's ruled by water. And when you think about water, it can take the shape of any container that it's in. It's really adaptable, really flexible in that way. At the same time, it's very powerful because when you think of the great flowing rivers, it's able to chip away, carve out earth. And so this energy is a very soft but very powerful. It's a flexible but very influential energy. Now, if you have a growth number 2, or if you choose a name for your baby with a growth number 2, then you're really endowing her with the ability to do very well with friendships and relationships and partnerships, and also to do excellently in group settings and team settings. There's such a harmony about this energy that it's very uplifting to be around. And so having that, your daughter, or if you choose also a boy's name, I'll be doing that list next week, your child will have that just aura of warmth that people would be really drawn to. I'm so sorry. I really should put my cats away, but they're playing, so that's the noise in the background. Anyway, with that, let's get started on my list. Now, the first name on my list is the name Aria. Aria is a name that comes from 2 different origins, 2 etymologies. Primarily used in English from a Latin etymology, and that means song or melody. And in Italian, it literally translates to air. Then the second etymology would be coming from Persian, and it means noble or noble woman. And I think that is just such a really nice and sophisticated name, and especially when we're talking about harmony, right? Just having some musical connotation, and then also that sophistication from the noble Mercury. I'm sorry, my cat is really playful right now. What was I saying? Yeah, but having the reference to the music and also the reference to being noble, I think is a really beautiful combination that is really evocative of the 2 energy overall. In the US, it really just came on to the scene in 2000 at number 957, but it has really soared since then. In 2017, which is the latest data that I can access, I'm sorry, I know I really want to know if it was popular in 2018 and how it's already doing in 2019, but the latest I have is 2017. It was already in the top 20 at that point. So if you are looking for a popular name, I think that go ahead, go with Aria. If you're looking for a name that is a little bit less used because maybe you don't want your daughter to have the same name as someone else in school or on the playground, then maybe just keep listening to the rest of the list. I do still really love the name Aria though. I think it's beautiful, and if you love it too, then just use it, because why not? Okay, so my next name is the name Avalon, and this one is very unusual. It is the name of the Paradise Island in the legend of King Arthur. This is where he was buried. In Welsh, it means apple, which is also evocative of paradise, you know, like the Garden of Eden. So This is still completely unranked in the US. I think it's a gorgeous name, Avalon. I think there's a lot that you can do, and you can call her Ava, you can call her Lani, or actually I would just call her Avalon if it were me, because I think it's such a gorgeous name. But tell me what you think, if you would shorten it, if you were to use it, if you would call her by a nickname, or if you would call her Avalon. My third name on the list is Hannah, or Hannah, you can pronounce it either way. And also, by the way, I do have a blog post on the name Hannah where I list, I don't know, maybe like 15 or 20 alternatives to the name Hannah, just in case someone else has taken that name, or you like the name but you want something a little bit different, then I'll link that blog post below. But Hannah, spelled without the H at the end, does resonate at the 2 energy. And that comes from Hebrew, meaning favor or grace, which is likely why it's also so popular. And there are so many different translations in other languages for a version of the name Hannah or Hannah. Now, this spelling without the H has been almost as popular as the spelling with the H. I haven't seen it personally growing up, but apparently it's been in the top 50 here in the US for quite a long time, since 1989. So it's a pretty long time to be right up there, along with Hannah, because Hannah has been very popular also in the top 50, in the top 20 at some times. So there you go. I think it's a beautiful name though. Now, the next name is the name Kaylee, but this one is spelled K-A-L-I-E, which is a very rare spelling. I haven't seen this spelling before, but I think it is gorgeous. Now, I'm a sucker for K-A names. I admit it. Probably I'm predisposed because my own name starts with K-A, but Kaylee spelled this way, it's completely unranked also. I think it's gorgeous. Now, the name Kaylee actually comes from the Gaelic word, which is like a folk music and storytelling type of party or festival. So when you think of festivals or parties, people are coming together, there are relationships like family ships. It should be ideally a very harmonious time. So again, it's another name that also just the meaning resonates very much with the 2 energy also. Really, really love that. My 5th name, hold on, I have to look at my notes. Okay, my 5th name is the name Liana. Now, this is a variation of the Hebrew name Hannah, which we just talked about a couple names ago. So this means favor and grace as well. This one is actually very rarely used in the US. In 2017, it only ranked at number 742. So very rarely used. It's there, people know the name Liana, so it's not one of those names that people will see and not know how to pronounce, but it's very unlikely that your daughter will come across another Liana on the playground. So positives for that. And then my next name is the name Nadia. Now, I studied Slavic languages, and so I am pretty partial to Slavic type of names. Now, Nadia is actually a diminutive, but in English we use just Nadia as a name because why not? It means hope. And actually there's also an Arabic etymology, and in Arabic it means tender and delicate. This only ranked at number 400 in 2017 here in the US. So again, not used very much. Everyone knows the name Nadia though, and I love how solid it is. I think most of us think of gymnastics. well, why not? Okay, so my next name is another N name, and it's the name Nina. Very simple, but I think it's a very svelte name, Nina. There do seem to be many different origins of this name. A few are like in Spanish. It means priceless one, and in some Native American languages, it means fire. So there you have it. You have the fire and then the water of the actual energy, which ends up being very balanced. And this is all about balance and harmony. So there you go, another one that works. In the US, it only ranked at 321 in 2017. So it's used, but not used very frequently. So I would say up for grabs. It's very unlikely that someone else in your family or friends will take this name. And I think it's beautiful. So my next name is the name Sadie. This is a diminutive of the name Sarah. And Sarah actually also has a growth energy, and I do really like the name. I know a lot of Sarahs. The name Sarah is very popular. So if your name is Sarah, your name resonates at the growth 2 energy. So Sadie and Sarah, they both mean lady, princess, or noblewoman. So here's another very sophisticated, very sort of like exalted type of name. It has been in the top 100. I'm talking about Sadie. Sadie has been in the top 100 since 2013, so it's been quite a while. You'll likely come across some other Sadies. But it's still at number 71, so we're not talking top 50, top 20, or even top 10 here. My next name is Tali, or Tali, and you can choose how you want to pronounce it. It's likely of Greek origin, and it means to blossom. And I love that meaning. And I love it especially for the 2 energy, because the 2 energy, again, it's harmony, and what feels most harmonious and warm and just loving than the springtime, when all of the plants and flowers are just blossoming. Okay, this is totally unranked in the US, so up for grabs. I would get on it, because I hope to see this rise in popularity, at least get it to be ranked. I love this name. And my last name on the list is the name Valli, spelled V-A-L-L-I. So it's evocative of course, the word name. This spelling is of Dravidian origin, from India. And it's the name of a goddess, and who doesn't want to be named after a goddess? This is also completely unranked in the US. So if you want a V name, because V names are becoming very popular, I would use Valli. So those are my names. Those are my top 10 favorite 2 energy girls' names. Next week I'll be doing boys' names, so if you want to tune in for that. I put out a baby name video every Tuesday, and I also put out another numerology themed video on Thursday, so tune in for that as well. If you have any questions or any name requests, please leave it in a comment below so that I see it, and I can try to include that in future videos or in baby name blog posts that I have on my website at www.lightbrightnumerology.com. I hope you have a light, bright, and joyous day, and I'll see you next time.